Yo ninjas, I'm Kaio. In this video I'm gonna react to your clips. If you want me to react to more clips, send them on my Instagram at KaioFalcrow and write in the message that you sent this video for their reaction. If you need more help to improve your breaking, check out my Patreon link in the description. Danny. Oh, nice airflares. Very clean. He's using the bouncing form, also the swinging form at the same time, so he swings but he bounces at the same time. Very cool. He's very flexible. If you want to learn the airflare in this way, for you guys, make sure you master the pike freezes, especially on the throwing arm. If you can do them on both sides, even better. But as you can see when he does airflares, before the throw, he really goes deep in the pike with one leg, or even both legs. In this frame, for example, you can clearly see that one leg is towards him, almost like a pike freeze. I don't know if he worked on this form by purpose or if it was just because he's very flexible, but in both cases this is very good. This form really allows you to have a very good control over the airflare, more than the swinging form. If you just swing without bouncing, you can still do airflares many rounds, but it's way harder to master like a good control. Oh, is Lil Amok counting? Sounds like Lil Amok voice. I'm not sure. Very good. I'm totally sure he will be able to do more rounds because his technique is very good. It's just a matter of improving the stamina a little bit. To do more rounds, I really recommend working on combos as well. The more you work on longer combos and also on many rounds of airflare themselves, the better your stamina will get. Let's go for the next one. Lil B or Lil B, I don't know. Lil B? Lil B? Airflare as well? Oh, one round. Let me see it again. Okay, in his case, as you can see the difference from the previous one, he's using more like the swinging form without the bounce. So he doesn't use the pike freeze too much, but just the swinging of the leg like this. Let me see a little bit slowly, like this. Okay, the start is perfect. Here, as you can see, if you stop the frame here, the left leg is not too much towards him, like the previous form. I would recommend, okay, here for example, when he's about to throw, the legs are very extended. They are not towards their shoulders or towards the chest. You can still do the airflare like this. It's totally possible, but I think it's a little harder. The form is still good. It looks a little bit Punisher form. Punisher is a very good example of how to swing the legs. Punisher doesn't bounce the legs in the airflare at all. He just swings very strong. The problem is that, as you can see, he lands with the hips a little low. If you want to land with the hips a little higher, you need to bounce your legs up in the air. Or you really have to swing the right leg strong. Let me see how he swings the right leg. So focus on the right foot, the right leg right now. The swing here is good. Okay, here, if you want to make the airflare a little higher, to land a little higher, the right leg should be a little bit more towards him, a little higher than this. And as you can see now, the legs are not so widely opened. If he will be able to land with the right leg a little higher, then also his hips are gonna get a little bit higher as well. But his first airflare actually is very clean. If you cannot do more than one airflare, my tip is just practice combos for the moment, many combos. And trying to do airflares multiple times in a combo. For example, doing airflare to flare, to airflare again, to flare again. Or for example, airflare to flare, to airflare to windmill. Or for example, windmill to airflare to windmill to airflare. Same thing with swipes. Airflare to swipe to airflare to swipe. So make sure you master combos in different ways, not only airflare to flares. So your goal, if you can do only one round, should not be like learning multiple airflares at the moment, but your goal should be learning airflare to flare to airflare to flare, or airflare to windmill to airflare to windmill, or airflare to swipe to airflare to swipe. Okay, another clip from him. Let me see what he does right now. Oh, airflare again and flare. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, now I can see that he can do some other moves. So, airflare. Let me see slow motion again. As you can see, yeah, he doesn't bounce at all. If you want to do airflares with this form, you don't have to change the form, keep doing it with this form. It depends from your personal taste. But if you don't care so much about your form And if you just care about learning multiple airflares, if you are open-minded about changing your form, I would recommend to use a little bit more the pike freeze on the right hand. You are thinking about the throw immediately here from the handstand. Instead of doing this, if you would like to change your form a little bit, try to open your chest first, reach the pike freeze, so make sure you reach this position here, but with the legs more towards you, like a pike freeze on the right hand, and then try to push your legs up, bounce, and land. Be careful about your shoulder, because if you're not used to this form, if you don't warm up properly your shoulders by doing some air freezes first and some pike freezes first on your right arm, it could be a little stressful for your shoulder. So don't open too much if you're not flexible. I don't know much about your shoulder flexibility. I don't know how your pike on the right arm is, but I think you can answer the questions by yourself. So if you're open-minded to change your form, and if your right shoulder is a little bit flexible and you can do some pike freezes on the right, try to use these pike freezes on the right before the throw. So you have a little bit more bounce and you will be able to land higher in the airflare. If you don't want to change your airflare form instead, keep it up like this, keep connecting airflare to flare like you did now, but try to do one more airflare in the same combo. So from here, from flare, now you did one round of swipe and then it ends. Try from the swipe or from the flare to do one airflare again. One from max, flare. Okay, just flares, I think. Yeah. I would practice flares kind of like a workout, doing reps and sets. It depends how many rounds you can do. First of all, try to make a record of your rounds. Try to do as many rounds as possible. And for example, if your total rounds are 5, let's say 5, try to do some sets of not 5 rounds, but a little bit less, 4 or 3 rounds, and do like 5 sets. So 3 rounds again, 3 rounds again, 3 rounds again, and so on for 5 times. If your personal best is a little bit higher, for example is 8, try to do 6 or 7 rounds every time. Keep going like that for a couple weeks, and then after 2 weeks or something like that, try to increase the number of repetitions by 1. So the first 2 weeks, maybe you're doing only 3 flares, but then the next 2 weeks you're doing 4 flares. 4 flares, rest a little bit, 4 flares, rest a little bit. Then after 2 weeks again, or something like that, increase again, 1 more, 5. Exactly like a progressive overload in a workout. You really want to make sure first you learn the first 10 rounds, still not focus on the form that much, but then when you get 10 rounds, it will be easier for you to focus more on the form. Okay, this is it. These are the videos for the moment. If you want, send me more on my Instagram at Kaio. I think in this video is a very good example of the difference between like just sending me clips or having a more specific coaching plan or training plan. Because as you can see from now, I don't know much about like how flexible you are. I don't know much about your basics. So I'm kind of limited for the feedback. I cannot tell you too much. But the more informations I know about you, the more I can give you feedback and the more I can customize your plan. If you're interested about being coached by me, check out my Patreon link in the description. Write me more about you, your skills, your flexibility. I will ask you more questions and we can really plan together your progress. I can give you some small tasks, homeworks a little bit, and you can send me back the clips. So it's more like a conversation and I can give you feedback every time and adjust the exercises and correct what you're doing. So you make sure you are always on the right track. And yeah, that's it. See you next time with a new video. Yo ninjas!